And then the about section, this is another place. I noticed when I looked at Mike's profile, front and center for Mike is his networking group because that's what he wants people to see. You may or may not care about some of his other work, but that's what he wants you to see. So it's on there, but front and center is that networking group. And that is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. Like another way that you could approach that is to tell your story a little bit. I know last week when you talked about sort of like the different things that you've done, that's a good place for you to tie them together for people. Tell a little bit of your story, not a long story, but a story. And then you can sort of give people a call to action, like what you want them to do next. Do you want them to connect? Are you looking for freelance work? Are you available for consultations? Like what it is that you're available for. If you're looking for internships, if you're in school, those are the kinds of things that you can put in there. And then if you decide to use a featured section, it's a great place to showcase some of the things that you've worked on. If you've been mentioned in any sort of media, you've been on a podcast, even if it was a school project, you can showcase that there in your featured section. Or maybe you wrote something that a lot of people responded well to. You can add that to your featured section. And then your experience, just making sure that you have whatever job experience, internship experience there, and that you're actually connected to the companies that you worked at. So if a company exists on LinkedIn and you maybe have typed like 30 Capital, for example, I think is under 30 Capital on LinkedIn, but maybe you worked for a different umbrella, different entity, make sure that you're connected with the right company. So that little logo shows up and people, when they're looking for people who work at that company, they can find you. Just like Mike was saying, when they're doing that research, they're looking for people who worked at a company. If you go to that company's page on LinkedIn and you go to people, if you're not connected to the company, you don't show up in that search.